Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Stand in line for your fix. DeMarcus and Marcus in the mix, serving you yet another round of fish and grits. June 14th, 2017. How's it going today for you, Marcus?
Oh, today is going good. I've been really enjoyed with this 30 for 30 for the Lakers and the Celtics. I'm really getting a good glimpse into the old school basketball days.
Definitely. For today, we do have a special guest. We got Brad Gilmore, the co-host of Heated Conversation and also the broadcaster for Reality of Wrestling. How are you doing today, Brad?
Hey guys, I'm doing good. I'm excited to be on the show. Thanks for the invite.
We appreciate it. Anytime, man. We just had a big breaking news today. Look like Mayweather and McGregor gonna get it on, man. How do you finally feel that it's finally announcing that it's actually gonna happen?
Well, I had this argument with the great Booker T many a time. Booker T said it was never going to happen, never in a million years. I knew
remember that.
There was too much money on the table
exactly
for this fight not to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And money talks and all the other stuff walks. So I knew we were going to see this fight come hell or high water. And now that it's here and it's official, the fight. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, I just got off air with Stevie Ray on his radio show, and he's saying there's no way this fight's a legitimate competition. Now, do I think that that McGregor's going to win? No, not a chance in hell. But do I think that it's going to be a compelling and interesting spectacle? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think it's going to draw a crazy ticket number. I know the purchases at the gate and at home is going to be through the roof, but I'm just glad that we're able to actually see it because it seemed like it's been out there in the open for the past, I want to say 2 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit longer than that, but I'm just glad that it's actually going to happen. And it's that mega fight that I think both industries need it. Like I haven't been a big fan of MMA, I want to say since UFC 100. And I feel like that was the plateau of UFC. And I think UFC meeting boxing is going to create a major platform, not only for Dana White, but for both industries moving forward.
I agree with that. I think that boxing has really hit a lull. The last big fight that we had was Maypac, and that really didn't live up to the hype
at all.
No, not even a little bit. And this fight's not gonna. Let's set our expectations. This fight is not going to live up to the expectation. It's not. It's not going to live up to the hype. But we know that going into it. With Maypac, we had hope, right? And then with some of these other fights, these mega fights that the UFC is doing, let's say like Ronda Rousey, Amanda Nunes, that didn't live up to the hype. It was a disappointment. Right. But since we know this fight's going to be different at best and entertaining at best, we're setting our expectations low. So if they can clear the bar, it's going to be great. But we're all going to be tuning in to see it. And, UFC, since the sale to WME, it's been weird. They don't really have any stars.
It's not the same. It's not the same at all. It feels different.
It does feel different. The fights are a little more. The fights aren't as entertaining.
Yep.
There's too many of them, like there always has been. But there are a lot of no-name guys, and it's just they're not being able to make compelling fights. Dana White wanted to make this fight. A lot of people said Dana White didn't want Conor to fight Floyd because he didn't want Conor to get embarrassed. Trust me, Dana White wants to make this fight. This is good. The UFC has nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Exactly.
Potential Floyd-Conor fight. So I think this is awesome. And, Floyd says, hey, this is a great way for me to get 50-0. So I think really everyone wins. And I think the fans win because we're going to get to see this dream match we never thought would happen.
And I think the build-up to it is going to be what's going to sell me. Because like I said, I'm a huge wrestling fan. So just like seeing the promos leading up to it, I think that's what's really going to pump me up. I think like the weigh-in may be the most entertaining. Yeah, that's going to be the most entertaining.
Can you imagine the press conference? Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. People need to give Floyd can talk. Right, Floyd can talk. We know he can talk, but he can't talk like Conor can talk.
No, because he can out-talk him. You can tell that in all his press conference. When Floyd wasn't coming out and Conor McGregor was out there, creating the buzz that
Conor has been the buzz. Like that's the he has been a buzz for the entire fight, and people been wanting to see this fight based off what Conor McGregor's been saying over the past.
Exactly, because Floyd ain't been really talking about it
at all. He's been real low key because it seemed like Floyd was more unsure about it than actual Conor McGregor was.
That's true. I can understand that. But I think that wouldn't it be interesting, like y'all were talking about the UFC not being as popular, if they had some type of narrative, some type of story that would draw more audience attention. Like when I used to watch wrestling back in the day, there was always a storyline that always kind of drawed me in and got me ready for the next match or something like that. The UFC is kind of just I don't really hear nothing about it. There's no news about it. There's nobody really talking about it, in my opinion.
Yeah, but here's the story for me. This is the storyline. Can the 155-pound world MMA champion, can he beat the man that no other boxer has been able to beat?
True.
That's the story for me.
Keyword is boxer. Yeah, keyword boxer. Yeah.
No other boxer has been able to beat Floyd Mayweather. So why not try the only opponent that he has yet to face, an MMA world-class championship fighter?
True. Yeah, well, let's talk about a former UFC champion in Brock Lesnar. I know we're gonna have the Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe fight coming up pretty soon. How do you think that's gonna be able to go? Are you entertained by just seeing these two colossal names being out there and headlining?
What's interesting is I think there's actually some parallels between Conor and Floyd and Brock and Samoa Joe.
I do too, man. I do too.
There's some parallels, and I think the biggest one is Brock and Joe, or let's even go to Floyd and Conor one more time. Floyd and Conor have both made their careers not off having, okay, let me say this. They've both made their careers off being the heel, right?
Exactly.
They both
Two bad guys.
They both want to talk them into the building to see them potentially get their butt whipped. And Brock has been doing the same thing in a different way, but he's still a traditional heel. Samoa Joe's a heel. So it's a really interesting thing to have a heel main event for great balls of fire. And I feel like I have to say it crazy.
You got you see the art of it, like you got to say wow just when you look at the art.
Oh yeah, I mean Samoa Joe looks like he's getting teabagged in the face.
Yeah,
I mean it's
flaming
ridiculous.
balls to the face. It's crazy.
He's getting flaming balls to his dome. It's awful. It's the worst name of any pay-per-view in the history of pay-per-view.
They could have just went like Backlash or just Great American Bash. They could have did anything, any of the old school names. They just.
I mean, they've had Halloween Havoc.
They've
had Bash at the Beach. They've had Greed, and now that we have Great Balls of Fire. I mean, we're really running out of names.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. It seems like that on a lot of shows that I watch, like looking at First Take, when they always come with some like kind of clever tagline for the segments, and it's like, where y'all keep coming out?
They work so hard for like mediocre content.
Very mediocre names.
But man, how long have you been a wrestling fan or just a sports entertainment fan, bro?
Oh man, dude, for as long as I can remember, I remember being 5 years old, sitting in my living room at my house and watching Stone Cold Steve Austin in 1998. I mean, I remember it vividly. And
that's the golden age.
yeah. I mean, it's the golden name. It's the golden age. I remember emulating Stone Cold Steve Austin. He would have the beers that he would smash together. I would get little miniature treetop apple juices out of my refrigerator. I swear, and I'd bang them together and pretend like I'm Stone Cold. I mean, I have a picture that I will put on Twitter of me as a 6-year-old boy in a Stone Cold Steve Austin vest and hat in jeans with no shirt on. I have to tweet this out to the public. But I mean,
you got to show them out there.
Big of a fan I was.
Nice. And what made you want to get into the sports entertainment industry? I see you do reality of wrestling. And how is that whole experience for you? What made you
the experience is awesome. I mean, it's a great question. I like anybody. When you get a little bit older and you get in your high school years, women take your attention and not so much wrestling, not so much men in tights pretending to hit each other. And so I kind of fell out of it, and I was doing a lot of radio stuff. I was in a band. And we were kind of in the scene.
Nice. How long have you been in the band?
Man, since 2006. It's called 2011. It's a hip hop pop R&B group.
Cool. Oh, nice.
Y'all would definitely dig it. Check us out. 2011 Music.
Oh, we'll do.
Nice plug.
2011 Music.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so check it out. I'll tweet y'all a link. But so I was doing that. It led me to radio, and I just remember I woke up one Saturday morning. I, grabbed my phone like everybody does to see what I missed the next, for the previous night. I was looking through the notifications, scrolling through Twitter, and I didn't even follow Booker, but I followed WWE just to kind of see what was going on. And I remember seeing Booker on WWE's Twitter. Then I clicked his, and he had a tweet out that said, "Hey, looking for announcers. Email this guy." So I ended up emailing this guy, and a couple weeks went by. He called me and said, "Hey, can you meet Booker this Thursday?" And this was on a Tuesday. I said, hell yeah.
Of course, yeah. Booker T.
And, I went in, I met Booker. And, that was on a Thursday. That Saturday, I made my debut on Reality Wrestling. And that was almost 5 years ago.
Nice.
Nice. That's a great story right there. And where are you originally from, Brad? Are you originally from Houston? Did you come from
Oh,
outside of Houston?
Houston, Texas, born and raised.
Oh,
You know,
H-Town.
lived outside the loop. Lived in Friendswood, Texas. Yeah, man, Houston, Texas, born and raised all my life. This is home.
That's nice, nice, nice. DeMarcus, you there?
yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
But I have a question out there. So what advice could you give out to people that's trying to get out into the broadcasting and podcasting has become a more popular thing, trying to get out there in the atmosphere? What advice would you give out to somebody that wants to inspire to do this?
I remember watching a movie in 2010 called Private Parts. It's about Howard Stern's rise to
That was a good
success.
movie.
It's a fantastic movie. And I remember being like, man, I want to do that. And here's the thing. When opportunity doesn't knock, you build a door.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really how I've done my whole career. Anything I've ever been involved with, I've created the opportunity for myself. And I think that if anybody out there wants to be a broadcaster, a radio guy, a television guy, a podcaster, YouTuber, just start and reach out to people who you're genuinely interested in, who you really want to talk to, and just keep pursuing it. And I think that if you have any kind of talent and you believe in yourself, it's the old, if you build it, they will come.
Yes.
So I just say, then talk about something you're really passionate about, that you're knowledgeable about, and then you'll build an audience.
That's
Right,
true.
man.
That's true.
Great advice.
That's the route that we're trying to take. Getting our, we feel like we have a voice that needs to be heard, and we're a voice that we want to get out there to the people, and we hope that it latches on and carries us further.
I have a question for you all.
No, let's get straight into. Oh,
Yeah.
what you got, bro?
No, I have a question for you all. Here's my question, because I spent a lot of time in doing club work, right? And I used to host this club called we called it the Debonair Lounge, but it was on Cafe 4212 here in Houston, in the Third Ward area of Houston, Texas. And they would serve the greatest shrimp and grits I've ever had in my life. And my question is this: why not shrimp and grits? Why is it fish and grits? Because I'm more partial to the shrimp and grits.
Well, the name came up. It's funny because when me and DeMarcus finally came together, we had a friend that wanted us to start just talking about sports, because he knew that I was really into sports, and I knew another person that was also deep into sports, and we always play fantasy together. We were always talking about basketball and things of that nature. So I talked to DeMarcus, and then we end up creating Fish and Grits. We wanted something that's different, something that represented the South, something that represented Atlanta or Houston, and that flavor we brought. And that's how we came up with Fish and Grits, because it's a popular dish, amongst a lot of African Americans, and that's how we came up with the name.
Plus, it was in the Outkast song, and that's pretty much our intro song. So if you like Fish and Grits and all, you know what I'm saying. So we had that's really another reason why it came into play.
Trust me, and this is something. So I'm big in hip hop, and we could talk hip hop if you want to. But for me, Outkast is one half of my favorite rap song of all time, and that's International Players Anthem.
Yes.
It's the greatest
that is the one
rap song ever.
The greatest four verse song you'll ever hear.
You cannot find any song that is better than that, with 4 unique verses.
I gotta ask you this though, Brad. I tell everybody this: if you had to take one verse out, then you got to take one verse out. Who is it?
As much as I love him,
you have to take out one.
As much as I love him, he's the OG. We ran into each other the other day at lunch, and we sat and spoke with each other for a minute. But I gotta take out Trilogy Bun B.
Hey, that's consensus. I think that's consensus, man. Because
you can't
do without Andre.
Big Boy. My runner-up would be Big Boy.
Yeah,
but Big Boy's verse was fly.
How he ended the verse. That's why I can't take out Big Boy.
I just love what he says. Pippa for life. Mm-hmm. My favorite line.
That's one of my favorite Outkast songs, but mine always would be the Players Ball, because it was always it always put me in a vibe of the weekend is here, or the weekend is coming, or this a time to kick back and jam. But
time to chill, right? Yep.
Exactly.
Mrs. Jackson, another one. This way up there for me.
Oh yeah.
I love Roses. I feel like Roses doesn't get enough.
Roses grew on me.
Kind of
Roses, I didn't like it at first. Yeah, but it grew on me.
But Big Boy also came through on that Love Below side of that album because that verse is pretty raw. No pun intended. He has a part like that in the verse. Yeah.
Hey, that's when I start really just understanding Andre 3000 as a character. When that Love Below,
as an artist in general, you start to appreciate
exactly because he had that prototype song on the Love Below, and I was just like, why is nobody else loving this song? And I hear it like a couple of times on 97.9, and I was just like, I feel like this song is the greatest song I've ever heard, and it's like Outkast always gave me that flavor, and that's the kind of thing that we wanted to go with and run with this show, just to give a different type of flavor, just like you're having a general conversation with just somebody down the street, and we don't try to be as professional, but we try to make it laid back and try to welcome everybody in.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's Southern hospitality.
Hey, Southern hospitality. That's the way we do it in the South.
Exactly.
That's why we really do appreciate you coming on, my man.
Oh no, I appreciate it.
Let me ask you the main question, man. Jordan or LeBron?
Not even a question anymore. All right. It is the GOAT forever and always now officially will be Michael Jordan.
No doubt.
Is it? Now,
and here's the thing. Go ahead.
I was going to ask you, this is the question I want to ask. Is it because of how his finals record, or just say that just say the series didn't really happen, and just say going from last year, after he came back from 3-1, and the conversation is Michael Jordan or LeBron the greatest, what would you have said?
I would say that LeBron is making his case. Let's see what the next couple seasons he does in the next couple seasons. But Jordan is the GOAT. He is the GOAT for a multitude of reasons.
Yes.
Not only is the 6 rings and the 6 for 6
perfect
a big factor for me. It's a big factor for me. But let's also
no game sevens.
No game sevens. Let's also think about this. Every finals, he was the MVP. 5-time NBA MVP. I mean, he was in the All-Star every year except for his first year. This guy, I mean, he was a multiple-time All-Star MVP.
And this guy, dunk contest.
Yeah, and the dunk contest. This guy, All-NBA first team. You know, they never even thought about him being on another one. This guy, also, here is. I'll tell you the moment that LeBron exited himself from the GOAT conversation. I'll tell you the one thing in this finals that Michael Jordan would have never done in his life. Michael Jordan would have never passed the ball to Kyle Korver.
That's what we said. We have said that multiple times.
You got to take that shot. I don't care if
you have to take that shot. Draymond has 5 fouls. I don't care if Steph Curry is coming from the wing, and then you have Kevin Durant right there. You take it and you draw that foul. See, what the thing is that I don't like about LeBron is when the pressure is, you feel like when that pressure is on, he doesn't want that pressure on himself. He doesn't want to be relied on to make the game clutching shot. He doesn't want to be relied on about making those game clutching free throws. And I feel like he goes away from the moment as time. He doesn't have the attack mode like Kobe and Jordan had, or Larry Bird had, or what Magic developed to have. It's just like he misses that from his game, because even in the Dallas series, as thrilled as I was as a Dallas Maverick fan to see Dirk win a ring, there was times in that game where you look at LeBron and say, what are you doing? Why are you letting JJ Barea stop you from posting up? Same with this series. You saw in garbage time, he was loving to get to the paint so easily, but what are you doing during the times where you're not going, when you're settling for
the whole third quarter? Yeah,
exactly. I don't understand this. He clicks in and out of the game, in my opinion, and that's why he was out of the GOAT conversation for me too.
For me though, LeBron, here's the thing about LeBron. I think you're right. He doesn't want to be blamed for the loss.
No.
But what LeBron doesn't realize, him being the greatest basketball player in the world right now, no matter what, bench for 47 minutes, you are the reason you lost.
Yeah.
You're the reason your team lost, because you're the best player on your team. And that's the thing about Mike. If Mike was shooting poorly that night, guess what? He wasn't passing the ball to Steve Kerr. He wasn't giving it to Pippen. He was taking more shots until he started making them.
Until he get it right. Yep.
Until he got it right. And that's what I love about Michael Jordan. He says, you know what? If I'm going to live by the sword, I'm going to die by the sword. Yep. I'm the best player in the entire world. So if we lose, it's because of me. If we win, it's because of me.
Yep.
And that's what the thing that I also don't like is the moves that I wish LeBron James would stop trying to settle to be the GM all the time. Like he has to make the moves of I want this player, that player, blah blah blah. I to this day will say if he kept Andrew Wiggins, I feel like the Cavs would have been that more
They
potent
would
of
have
a,
been
of
set
a
on the
team.
wing. They would have
They
been.
would-
They would have been better. They would have been better. But I think that LeBron in GM mode. I mean, here's the thing: if LeBron wasn't in GM mode, they wouldn't have won that title last year against Golden State. I mean, he did construct this team. Not only did he construct the team, LeBron's the coach of the team.
Exactly.
Tyronn Lue didn't do anything to win
He's
that.
a
At all.
puppet
Let's
of the
be
team.
honest. He is a mascot at best. They should dress him up as a Cavalier or whatever the hell that is.
No, they really. He
He
does nothing. It seems like he has no control over this team.
He has no control of the team. No, not at all. And so I think LeBron has to play the GM position for me, and I really do. And I think the large part of LeBron's success has been his ability to be able to construct the team around his strengths. And I think that he's actually done that well in Cleveland. But to go back to the GOAT conversation, LeBron James, just off statistics alone, the second greatest basketball player of all time. He's better than Kareem. He's better than Kobe. I don't think that he's better than Shaquille O'Neal. He's better than Larry. He's better than Magic. He's better than Bill Russell.
What about Hakeem Olajuwon? I mean, I kind of want to put Hakeem second.
Hakeem's in my top 5.
Okay,
He's number 5 in my top 5.
Okay,
I think Hakeem's a fantastic player, but I think that LeBron's better than them all. And let's be honest, Russell in the conversation for the greatest of all time.
He had so much talent around him.
Not only did he have help around him, he was playing guys who were like shoe
6'3",
salesmen.
because he was 6'6". Like he wasn't even that big. He wasn't even that dominant force like you see nowadays.
He wasn't, and then he also flourished.
Draymond Green would destroy Bill Russell.
Let's be honest. He was playing in a time where there are a lot of white guys in the league.
Exactly, and then Red, he developed that offense of that fast-paced offense.
Yeah,
a lot of people couldn't keep up. So he kind of flourishes in that. And the thing that I want to say about LeBron is, like you said, I feel like he's the second best player in the league with, talent alone off of what he did. He's the type of player I've never seen the type of player when he came in the league in 2003. He's a person that met expectation and exceeded the expectation, and his longevity of how long he can be consistent and you can rely on him is pretty impressive. That, he was like Tim Duncan, more of athletic Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan was always there, the anchor. Tim Duncan was always going to be there. He was always healthy. Same with LeBron.
Yeah, but here's the difference between him and Tim Duncan. LeBron James, I'm going to say since at least 2010, let's say, has been the greatest player in the world, consistently, never going down without any injuries, and his skill set has only developed greater over time.
True.
Oh, that is true. But can I ask you a question? Yeah. After watching this finals, do you think Kevin Durant is challenging or has leaped LeBron?
No. I don't think. Look, any guy, and Kevin Durant is a phenomenal basketball player. He played probably the greatest 5 games of his life this series. But I am not going to say he's the best basketball player in the NBA right now when you jump on a 73-19 from the previous year. I just think that it's like I could look great on the Warriors. People would say, man, Brad Gilmore's a top 5 point guard if I was on the Warriors. Zaza Pachulia has a ring. All right.
But he looks bad. That's the thing about it. Like, they have these people that come in flashes. They come in flashes.
We personally feel like Steph Curry is replaceable. Like we feel like that team can.
Well, Steph Curry's replaceable with Kyrie Irving, but or maybe James Harden. But aside from that, I think that he is a phenomenal basketball player. Is he unanimous MVP caliber? Absolutely not.
No.
But
that's a joke.
To me, real quick, why does Zaza Pachulia look always like he just got out of a 12-round heavyweight boxing fight?
Like he can't
speak, what is wrong with him?
Like he can't speak good English.
He looks like Peja. He looks like Peja. Peja
fights.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. He needs to be checked out by a physician. But to go back to your point about Steph Curry, I think that Steph Curry's a phenomenal basketball player.
Is he worth $220 million that he's about to get?
No.
Are any of these basketball players worth $220 million except for LeBron James?
I just honestly feel like I'd be content with paying Mike Conley $130 million versus Steph Curry $220 million. I think I'd be able to get the same amount of play and maybe more defense from Conley.
See, but what it is he brings the entertainment factor, so that's always factored in a contract.
Because he's a sideshow. I mean, come on, man. Like all these threes he's shooting, I don't necessarily think these pull-up threes are good for the league. But that could just be the old school basketball guy.
But do you see if you've been watching the Warriors closely this year, he doesn't take those trick shots that he was doing last year. He's more contained.
He tried to at the end of game 5. Remember I texted you? I said, look at Steph Curry on the bench. He about to come in and try to save the day. He missed those 2 shots and passed it right to KD.
That's
passing so fast to him, like,
Steph Curry isn't criticized as much as he should be for his
at all. He's never. I haven't seen nobody criticize Steph Curry, and he does whatever he wants. They cheer.
We know. Here's the thing: we fall in love with the point guard, nowadays in the NBA. The guys
because he's the ball dominant.
Yeah, he's the ball dominant guy. This is why we fall in love with Russell Westbrook. Why people think he's
this is why the Pacers traded for George Hill.
Exactly.
To have a elite point guard.
We fall in love with the point guards when really, I mean, you're right in a sense. Can Steph Curry be replaced and they still be a great team? Yes. I think though that he is a part of that team and more, maybe even more of a spiritual guide for that team. Sort of like the emotional leaders. I think the emotional leaders of the Warriors are Steph Curry and more so Draymond Green. And I think without either one of those players, they'd have a hard time.
I'd say Iggy is the one that's the most irreplaceable. Yeah,
because he brings the energy out there.
Because coming off the bench, he can start at any day.
Andre Iguodala.
You hate Iggy?
You really hate Iggy?
I hate Iggy.
You know why?
Wow.
He is not a man to me. I'm going to tell you why.
I would get this.
He needs, after every play, after every foul this guy gets, he has the most befuddled look on his face. Like
that's his natural look. I think that's his natural look. If he's
stupid,
his natural look is that of a moron.
See, and that's why I don't like. See, and this is the thing that I don't like about Westbrook. See, I like Westbrook as a player. I respect his game. I respect his talents. But it's just something about his face that makes me not root for Westbrook. I don't want to be mean.
It's something about the way he dresses that makes me not want to root for that guy.
Yeah, he be tripping, man.
He
coming anything.
But the thing that I liked about Kevin Durant is he showed if he did not leap LeBron, he put the world on notice because he stood up in the spotlight and shined brighter than everybody on the court. Yes, LeBron was dominant. Yes, Kyrie had the circus shots and things, but KD always, it was something, when he did something, it was more, I guess it drew your attention more. And then I saw a side of his game that I never saw, the defensive side. I never seen KD step it up and want to get a steal or blocking shots or protecting the rim. And it's another factor to this game that evolved. And if he can sustain this next year, then I think he could take that leap from LeBron.
It's true because before age 30, you start to see his game elevate a little bit more. Like it's on a whole different level. But I think the one thing that stood out is he just reconfirmed that he is the best scorer in the NBA. I mean, he's led the league scoring multiple times. So he just only confirmed that, hey, can't nobody score like me. The confidence, he just pull up in people's face, fadeaway threes, take it to the rack, finish. He can do it all.
Well, he knew, though, that if he didn't show out in this NBA Finals, if he lost these NBA Finals, oh, my God, Kevin Durant would never be on any top anything list ever again. So he knew he had to do this.
But that's true. But the thing about that is, with that pressure, he still played out there and balled better than anybody ever.
It's also not that hard. I mean, especially when Klay Thompson locking down one of the big scorers on the
But you know what? Somebody pointed this out the other day, and I was listening. I try to get as much knowledge as I can of the game, and listening to what people say or some other people say, because I don't want to hear what everybody else says about the same narrative of, Kevin Durant joining the 73 team and it's kind of a blemish on his record. I look at just the system. If you take Steph Curry out of that system, is Steph Curry really Steph Curry? If you take Klay Thompson is the most like pure, I want to say pure player on the team. You take Draymond out of the team and you put him on the Pistons or like maybe Dallas. Do you see Draymond still putting up Draymond numbers? No. Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson are the ones that shine that out of that system. I feel like the system makes Curry look better, makes Draymond Green look better. I don't think they're quote unquote these stars in today's world because they score so much and they draw so much attention. Everybody focuses and calls them a star. And the thing about it is, I truly only think there's two really stars on the team, and that's Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson. I'm gonna sing this until I'm blue in the face. Klay Thompson is one of the best two-way defenders. Everybody screams and says Kawhi Leonard, but let's not take the fact Klay Thompson has to take a backseat to Steph Curry because he knows he's the entertaining factor. He sells a ticket. Then he has to take another step back because here comes Kevin Durant. But if you take take Trey Curry and see what Klay Thompson does. Klay Thompson's probably averaging 27 points, maybe like 6 assists, and then maybe like 5 or 6 rebounds, and still shutting down the number one player on the other end. And I think that people forget and they get it so caught up in the imagery of Steph Curry and the whole Warriors. They forget about defense and what Mark Jackson instilled, because Klay Thompson came in the league and wasn't a defender. Mark Jackson implemented that in. And what does Klay Thompson do? He took that and grew with it.
Yeah, I think here's the thing. Yeah, Klay Thompson's a better shooter than Steph Curry by leaps and bounds.
I can agree with that.
I can agree.
Klay can get as hot as anybody in the league.
He can get hotter than anybody in the league.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's my thing about Klay Thompson. If he wants to be talked about as an all-time great two-way player, and great shooter, he has to leave the Warriors.
Yeah, he has to.
He has to leave the Warriors.
I think he's content with his 13th.
He's content because he came out and said that.
With his third spot, he's the fourth man on the team.
True.
He's behind Draymond.
Yeah, because Dre's the playmaker. And
Dre's the playmaker in the
Clay's just there to hit shots. Hit shots and play.
He's Kevin McHale until everybody starts falling off a little bit.
Let me tell you this. My girlfriend does not follow basketball at all, right? and we were she has a very casual, peripheral, fandom of the game. So the other night, we're in her kitchen, we're making dinner, and I'm talking about LeBron in these finals. And she asked me, "Hey, whatever happened to that Klay guy?" And I said, "Klay Thompson?" She was like, "Yeah, is he playing this year?" I was like, "Yeah, he's still in the Warriors." She goes, "I haven't." Wow. She goes, "I haven't heard anything about him." And I was like, wow, because she was aware of Klay Thompson the previous year. Now that KD is on the team, she doesn't even hear his name anymore. I want Klay Thompson to go to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh, no.
Or the Cleveland Cavaliers. One of the two. I want him to
Why do you want to go to those two?
Okay, first of all, it would be phenomenal for him to go to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Just for the story. Just for the story. Just to say, you know what? I was the number 4 guy. Now I'm the number 2 guy, and I'm going to shove it up the Warriors. You know what? But my reason for the Lakers is I just think that he could be the key piece. Say that the Lakers take Lonzo Ball. You got Lonzo at the 1. You got Klay there. I don't know. Say even Paul George goes to the Lakers. Yeah. I'm starting to fantasy book this. You got Julius Randle. I'm liking Brandon this team. Ingram, yes.
You got Brandon Ingram. I'm liking the Lakers. I'm liking the Lakers though with Lonzo Ball and Klay Thompson.
But the Lakers are going to be a quick rebuild. It just depends on which star wants to go first. The Lakers are going to bounce back at any time. I think it's the Clippers that's going to fold.
Clippers are gone. They're not even relevant.
And everybody, and this is the thing that I have in my dream scenario. I have a dream that the Warriors, they wake up one day and they realize, you know what? Let's look at game tape. We're better without
after 4 titles.
We're better without Steph Curry. Let's trade Steph Curry to just say that
Charlotte.
Oh no, listen. Just see. Embiid next year has a great season and he's finally healthy. And then we see, or to say Kyle Lowry goes there, he signs with them. I'll take those 2 players because the thing that the Warriors need and for them to have this longevity is they need consistent defense. And Steph Curry, it's a glowing. He's hidden behind that defensive scheme, but he's not a good defender. And all these point guards are getting quicker and quicker. You're going to need a point guard that can kind of bump and run with you. That's why you need like a Kyle Lowry, or maybe if they want to do another dream scenario, Dragic, who's a good defender, an underrated defender, and get Whiteside. They need a good center and they need a good point guard. And Curry's stock value will not be as high as it is right now. And you can get so much for him. I think his
ankles will give out pretty soon. I don't have confidence in his feet. I'm
not as down on y'all on Steph as y'all are, but I think that Steph is a lifer warrior. I really believe he is so the face of the Golden State Warriors. He will be the Kobe to the Lakers. He's not leaving. He is not leaving.
Oh no,
and they're not trading.
No,
I don't see him leaving, but I think salary
cap
wise as a GM,
exactly.
I think the best move.
But he's already taking pay cuts.
Thinking like GM.
He's already taken pay cuts. So I mean, Steph is that kind of guy.
He's getting $10 million right now. Yeah.
He's content.
Well, he got the pay.
He's fine. But let me ask you this.
But he got the pay cuts.
Because during the NBA Finals, Jeff Van Gundy, who was the former head coach for the Houston Rockets at one time, Jeff Van Gundy said that Kevin Durant and Steph Curry are the greatest 1-2 punch he may has ever seen, right? I know he said this, and he's tripping. We know he's tripping. But let me ask you this. If you're crafting a team and you have the number 1 and number 2 pick, and you're looking on the board, and you've got Kyrie Irving, you've got Steph Curry, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant, you cannot tell me your number 1 and number 2 isn't LeBron and Kyrie.
Because Kyrie can finish from anywhere on the paint.
Kyrie can shoot threes. That guy can drive the lane, and he has the most beautiful bank shot I've ever seen in my life.
And you say that, but guess what? But this is the thing that Kyrie does not have. He can't lead a team for nothing, and he can't win with the team for nothing because
that's why you have LeBron.
But then, see, I mean, then you go. But then it's like I have Curry, and I can have Kevin Durant because I can have the long. Well, then they both defensive live. I like Steph Curry more than like Irving personally.
Whoa.
Oh man,
I think I'll take Kyrie, man. Off his finishing alone, like I want my point guard to be able to get in there and hit the tough buckets. And
I want him to drive the lane. Yes,
he can spin move. He can finish with the left, finish with the right. Curry with that floater layup, that shit gonna get smacked. You know, but
you say that, but Curry's still crafty. But Curry's still crafty with the ball, and then with the spacing.
He's crafty in open court after Draymond and Clay plays great defense, and he just gets to do whatever he wants to do on the fast break.
And he's crafty with the ball when he gets to double dribble, and the refs don't call it.
Yeah, like so.
Y'all really down in that boy Curry? I mean, Curry. What was it?
Curry? Just saying, okay.
So let's put it like this. Okay, let's put it like this. So when Kyrie and what's his name, Waiters was the quote unquote stars of the Cavs, where were they going? Nowhere. When Monte Ellis and Curry was the stars of the team, Warriors were still making the playoffs. Or let's talk about the elevation of the excitement that Curry brings in his range. I don't think Kyrie, he's so underrated, and on the defense, I mean, his defense is so terrible. It's worse than Curry, in my opinion. I feel like Curry gets underrated because he shoots so many threes. I think he finishes at the
Kyrie doesn't have a Klay Thompson and a Draymond Green. I mean,
me personally,
it's all about the staff, man. I mean, the staffs are completely different. But if we on an open hard court, I'm taking Kyrie over Curry all day because with no help defense,
me too.
Kyrie's gonna kill Curry.
Yeah, he's gonna.
DeMarcus, this is the thing. This is one more thing I want to bring up.
Go ahead, bro.
Looking back at this finals, looking at everything Kevin Durant has done, I just still in my mind wish he went to the Wizards like I thought he was gonna do. John Wall.
I thought he was gonna go to the Celtics.
Kevin Durant. Everybody don't appreciate this, but he's a walking cornerstone. You don't have a lot of NBA players that enter the market and can make an impact. Blake Griffin, Chris Paul about to enter the market, but wherever they go, they're not going to make a championship impact. That team will be better. It's going to be a top 4 team in either conference, but it's not a Kevin Durant impact.
What big three do you are you more excited about? Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson, or Kevin Durant, Bill, John Wall going forward? All still younger.
Because John Wall hasn't reached his maximum.
That's what's crazy. I love John Wall. John
Wall doesn't get a pass for jumping on the scoring table after game 6.
Forgive him. Forgive him. He had a Juana man moment.
I mean, yeah, come on, man. I mean, how much success has the Wizards seen? Give him a break.
He was 0-6 in clutch moment, game timing or threes.
The Redskins don't got a GM. Come on,
exactly. You got to give it to the man.
This all they got.
No,
they had to deal with
no pass.
They had to deal with Gilbert Arenas want to stab people, Robert Griffin and his broken ankles,
Jawan Howard and Chris Webber. Remember those days, the bullets?
There you go. And then you got to worry about.
Hey, calm down on my guy C Webb. Not too much.
Hey, I love C Webb. Hey, the Kings, one of my favorite teams. I still feel like they should have made it to the championship there.
I love C Webb, but he has to do a better job in commentating. He has to step
he's
inside.
Hey, C. Webb is a lot better than he was like 5 years
He's
ago.
way better. He's way better.
I would rather listen to Reggie Miller
There
all
you go.
day than listen to C.
I
Webb.
I'm with you on that one. See, you know what? You just became my best friend. Look, did we just become best friends?
I think we did.
Hey, Brad, how many titles can you see Golden State reeling off? Like, just seriously, how many can you see?
in a row, or just as this team is, you know,
I
the next
constructed.
few years?
Me personally, I think it'll be consecutive titles, but just in general, saying like a 6-year span if they together that long.
In 6 years, if it's the same team as it is now, conceivably, realistically, I say 4.
See, I'm thinking 4 straight, including this year. I think they can easily reel off 3 more.
Let's be honest.
This team was constructed to what you got?
No, this win for the Warriors, this new age of the Warriors, this championship is their first championship.
Yeah,
that
this team
against LeBron in 2015
don't count.
Does
but
not
it's,
count.
It's the banner's there, but they really don't care.
It doesn't count, and really, KD's first ring doesn't count either. I mean, we criticize LeBron for chasing rings in Miami. LeBron didn't go to a 73-win team. True. LeBron really didn't have a big 3. He had a 1-2 punch, and we gave Chris Bosh. We elevated him.
Elevated him. No. Let's not underrate.
No, I'm not underrating him, but we elevated him to a status which he was not deserving, just like we did Kevin Love. When LeBron has an above-average player on his team, we consider him a part of the big 3. But Chris Bosh wasn't a phenomenal player. So he wasn't a Draymond. He wasn't a Draymond Green. He wasn't a Clay. He wasn't a Steph.
He was a 19-9 player. You know?
But you know what? See, I think people underrate Chris Bosh, because if you go back and you really look at those Heat games. See, this thing that Kevin Love doesn't do. He doesn't do the 3 position right.
Bosh made the biggest sacrifice. Yeah.
He did make the biggest sacrifice, because Bosh had the potential to be one of the best
25-point score if he went to the right team.
He was leading the Raptors with nothing. Yes. And he was still giving you like 24 and what was that? He was like 24 and 12 before he ended up leaving and going to and he had to take a back seat in that, because you still have it's Wade's team, so you had to play the Klay Thompson role. But if you move him into another system, he flourishes, and then you be like, dang, you know what? He really was talented. That's why I can't too much talk bad on Chris Bosh, because I think his talent was way more than what people was giving him, and he sacrificed way more like Klay. That's why I can't say nothing about Klay.
You do make some good points, and maybe I'll walk that back a little bit. But what I'm saying, though, to go back to Kevin Durant, is he had I don't know. Do y'all put an asterisk next to this title win?
Oh, of course, this first one, of course. Yeah, even though he was a deciding factor, he went out and won this championship. Factor. That's the one thing you can't take away. I don't like the move, but at the end of the day, nobody wants to be Karl Malone. Nobody wants to be Charles Barkley. Nobody wants to be Reggie Miller. Nobody wants to be that ringless guy.
Yeah.
Look at John Sally. John Sally has made a living off being a bench player. Yeah. All because his rings. Hey, man. The rings.
Congratulations for him. Yeah, rings do matter.
In the NBA, the rings matter. Like, I don't like the way he did it, but he doesn't want to be the best player without a ring. Nobody wants to be.
Irvin.
We do give passes though to Charles Barkley and Allen Iverson. We give them passes for not having rings.
Yeah, we give them passes because of the entertainment factor. Because those two were just doing it big with nothing. Like, you could say that the Suns, but the Suns look better because of Barkley. How many Hall of Fames are on that team?
Yeah.
Same with what's his name? But you may have Mutombo, but what was Mutombo giving Iverson really?
But then on the flip side, look at who Kevin Durant played with, from even the lower level people, from Kendrick Perkins to Jeff Green to Harden, Westbrook, Ibaka. Like, I think he had a lot of talent. So Dion. So he had to get out there and get a ring. Like I say, I don't like how he did it, but just seeing his resume, look at the rosters he went with, you'll go back like, damn.
I was
win the championship with these guys.
I was legitimate. They should have been in the finals last year. The Thunder should have. But I honestly, as much as I hate the Golden State Warriors more than most things that are on this earth, I was legitimately had a feeling of joy for Kevin Durant winning that ring.
For
I really
5
did.
minutes.
For like 5 minutes, I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Congrats, KD.
Did I cut the TV off and got
Congrats, KD. And then I started tweeting about how much I hated him.
This is the thing I have to say. I think And when Kevin Durant has retired and they do like an E60 of Kevin Durant and his journey and what he's done, I think we're really going to look back and we're going to see how frustrated Kevin Durant was because of Westbrook.
Yeah.
You can really see how bad Westbrook takes away from Kevin Durant because this season, yes,
I've never seen Kevin Durant have 5 blocks last year with the Thunder.
But this is the thing about it. This is what the glowing thing, the thing that stands out the most is Westbrook had this triple-double, but you see that he wants to do everything. And that's the thing that he kept taking away from KD. KD could never find his place in the system because Westbrook always wanted to do everything. When the game was at its crucial moments, Westbrook would become super Westbrook of now, and it would stop Kevin Durant from flourishing. I think I would always say if they had another point guard, I'm telling you, they would have ended up beating the Heat back in 2012. I said they always needed 2 veterans, and they needed Westbrook out of that system, and they would, because James Harden, the veterans would have got on James Harden to play better and to step it up, and they probably would have fed James Harden the ball more instead of bringing him off the bench. And on top of that, Kevin Durant was balling that series, and Westbrook was doing nothing but turning the ball over.
Yeah, you're right.
It goes back to what Brad was saying too about the point guards control.
Yeah, the point guards. But I do think though, when we look 5 years from now, we're going to. Right now, we're in the heat of it. But 5 years from now, we're going to look past Kevin Durant's move to Golden State, just like we look past LeBron's now. We look past his now. We're like, but he went back to Cleveland. And just like honestly though, it's not like guys haven't moved teams before for the pursuit of rings. I think Kevin Durant's is the most blatantly obvious. But let's talk about Shaq leaving Penny in Orlando to go to play with Kobe in LA.
Because he saw a new hotter thing.
He saw a new hotter thing. He's like, we can have a dynasty here. Let's not pretend that Charles Barkley in the twilight of his career didn't go to the Rockets to try to get rings.
Exactly.
I mean, they all do it. They all do it. But just like let's like CP3. He went to LA to try to win rings with Blake and Jordan. So I mean, this happens, and we give it a pass over time. I just think right now we're coming down hard on Kevin Durant. But here's my question. This is my favorite debate over the last 2 weeks. Golden State Warriors in a 7-game series against the 96 Bulls. Who wins?
I don't even think it goes to 7. Jordan don't do game 7s.
Yeah.
So you think the Bulls?
See, and you know what? I got a debate with that, man. It's just like looking back at just those.
Jordan would have stole a game at home.
But what are we playing? But what are we playing with? Are we playing with today's rules? Are we talking about back then rules?
You know what? I've heard that argument, and I don't think it matters. I really don't. I think when you put the greatest out there, when you put the greatest on the floor, it doesn't matter what the rules are. The guy's going to make it happen. That's my opinion.
It's the bumping and grind. It's the extra. Back in the day, they did the extra. They did the extra shove, the extra. If the refs are allowing that and that going in, I think the Warriors can prepare for that. I think they can be ready for that. I think they're quicker than what people give them credit for. I think their defense is more sound than everybody is given credit for. The only thing is, can Klay Thompson hold Jordan? And we're going to say no to that. And is it going to be a wash? If Klay's giving me a 4-4, 14
I think Curry and Kerr going to cancel each other out too.
Curry and Kerr could cancel each other out.
Whoa. Did you say Curry is going to cancel Curry out?
Yep.
Curry's going to give you what? 10, 12 points. Curry's giving you at least 27. Curry's not playing no lockdown defense on.
But you think Kerr is going to be on Curry? Because they can easily
put Jordan. You can put Jordan on. You right. You gonna put Jordan on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got 2 elite defenders they can throw out there.
Yeah.
Not saying Golden State don't, but Draymond gonna be tied up with Dennis.
See, Draymond's gonna have a rough night with Dennis.
He's gonna
Rodman.
have a rough night. Here's
series. Here's the thing about this.
He's gonna have a
Michael Jordan would drop 35 in a game when you had hand checks.
Yeah.
Easy.
You tell me there's no hand checks?
He just flowing to the lane. Oh, Jordan!
This guy's gonna score 50 a game.
See, that's the thing about it, and I can never have that debate. Is this team better than that team, or
it's hard because it's different eras. It's hard.
I'm gonna tell you, based on errors, but it's the maturity of the player because Magic look, would Magic's 80? I mean, okay, was the 86 Boston be as good if they could undercut and do those back deals that they were doing to get Parrish and McHale, and then you see that maturity that they had to go through that bump and grind with the Sixers or playing the Lakers that molded them to be the team they are. See, the Warriors are molded in the era that it is now, that you can shoot the three. If the three's not open, you can go for the layup and get the foul. And if you don't get the foul, play lockdown defense. They flourish in today's game. They're like the Spurs. They are like the Spurs 2.0. If the Spurs develop a better shooting game, they're the Warriors, basically. And that's same with the Bulls. The Bulls mastered the offense and the
for that
era. Every team, if you can see it, there was always those little outlier teams.
When everything clicks to where I know exactly how to beat every team in my league.
Exactly. Then you got the Pistons crawling up. Then you have the Rockets crawling up, and then maybe somebody's going to upset and make some noise later on down the line. But I'm telling you, I just feel like we can't make that argument, but I know it'll be entertaining. I know I just want to see how Kevin Durant matches up against these big boys. When he's $180 maybe.
Oh man. Can you imagine him and Scotty or him and Rodman?
Oh,
I mean, Jordan and his ego would have to be on. He'd want Kevin Durant on him for a few minutes just to show off.
I was telling somebody, if you plucked Kevin Durant and you put him in back, if you pluck LeBron and you put LeBron back in, I think he gives you modest, good, like Charles Barkley type of numbers. If you plug Kevin Durant in those times back then, I think he exceeds and plays on the level of a star. And I tell people this: when Jordan was playing against, I'm gonna say, okay, this is my argument. When Jordan was playing against the Pistons or going against the Lakers or going against the Boston Celtics, he knew he had to get bigger. He had to put some weight on him, and he had to gain more weight. You don't think Kevin Durant's gonna be out there with a 2-pick? You don't think he's gonna get bigger? Look at Magic. Look how small Magic was when he first came into the
league, and I think he only benched like 135.
But he can get away with that because there's nobody really checking for Kevin Durant or like pushing off Kevin Durant. He would get foul calls out the ass because of that. So I'm telling you, like, look at Magic. When Magic first came in the league, look how small he was, and then what he developed into. Kevin Durant would get more meatier. He would get bigger, and I feel like he would be more of a threat. Picture Kevin Durant, 225 playing right now. If he was 225 playing right now,
with that foot,
I'm not with that. I'm not with that because Kevin Durant, since he came in the league, has looked the exact same. Right?
He hasn't really changed.
Every other great player. Look at LeBron. Look at LeBron at 18, and look at LeBron at 30. What is he? 32 now.
Night and day. Oh,
this guy is a brick. Like 60, you know what?
60 pounds.
But they were saying that Kevin Durant doesn't have to put on. They were talking. They did like a segment on the show. They were talking about how quick he is and how he's not like a super strong, like a muscle strong, but he has a physical force to him, but he doesn't feel like he has to be like stocky, like how LeBron. Because you remember LeBron got really, really big in Miami, then he got really, really lean in Cleveland. Kevin Durant, just with his game he didn't feel like he had to get big. Like look at Dirk. I always wish Dirk would gain more weight, but he didn't because he didn't. It was slow down on the offense end. So you kind of make that sacrifice. Look at LeBron James. LeBron James is 250, but he can't shoot jumpers like Kevin Durant. That weight holds him down. So Kevin Durant, he kind of picks his poison.
Well, you make that great point. But to go back to the 96 Bulls versus the 2017 Warriors, I just don't think, as great as a team these Warriors are, it's like, okay, like here's the thing. The Warriors are about 3-4 years ahead of everybody else in basketball right now. That's why we're saying people are saying this is the greatest team I've ever seen. But when the iPhone first came out in 2007, we're like, this is the greatest phone of all time.
Exactly.
Until the next year when they came out the new one. You know what I mean? So I think that, but it's like, this is my thing. If the Warriors are the smartphone, obviously, they're the first iPhone. Obviously, they're this unstoppable force. They're something we've never seen before. But at the core of it, it's still a phone, right? At the core of it, it's still basketball. So you can compare, Jordan and the 96 Bulls to the Warriors. And I just think that fundamentals always win. We've seen the triangle win 11 championships. And I just think it'd be a really hard day. And I think the Warriors would feel a little bit crushed after they lost in 6.
And I know it's different scenarios, but even just look at Game 3. Game 3 wouldn't happen under Jordan. That pass, that Kevin Durant disrespectful shot, Jordan would have contested. Somebody would have rushed up on him. The Game 3 wouldn't have happened like that. Jordan would have won at home.
Someone would have run up on him, and if he would have scored that and won the game, Dennis Rodman would have punched him in the jaw. All right.
Hey, that would be entertainment. Hey, that's the thing that the NBA is missing is that entertainment factor. They went way too far with the fights. I don't mind you getting a little scuffle every now and then. That makes for good TV talk. Like how good would the highlights be if when LeBron and KD really start chopping each other, they start pushing each other like McHale back in the day. I'm like, I would enjoy that more.
I had this conversation with a wrestler who was at the TV tapings last Saturday. MVP. He was in WWE for a while.
Yeah.
We talked at the show because if LeBron and KD really got into it,
it would have been way worse than that.
Would have been washed.
he would have been. So but you know what? I don't think LeBron has hands. I think everybody, because he's a physical. I don't think LeBron has hands at all, because the way I see him talk, him carry himself, how he was on that barbershop thing, LeBron is, I don't know. You see the psyche of him. You see that he doesn't have that killer instinct, because he's kind of, I don't want to insult LeBron, and not at all. I don't want to be rude, but I can speak from I can speak from experience, and I'm going to embarrass myself a little bit, but I'm kind of a mama's boy. So I'm not as hard as most guys. I consider myself kind of tough, but not as like, your average person, whatever. LeBron has been coddled since, he was in elementary. So I don't think he's been experienced as Kevin Durant is when he tells his story about what his mama and him really had to go through. I know LeBron had to go through hard times, but you kind of can see it. I would say that LeBron would get him because of size alone.
LeBron had the H2 Hummer, man. He wasn't doing no tripping.
LeBron would have washed KD's ass up and down the court. No way.
How about this? Forget that fight. David West and Tristan Thompson. I bet David West would have killed Tristan Thompson.
Yeah. Oh, he would have murdered him. I mean,
I would have seen that fight. I'll pay for
we
that.
already know Tristan Thompson doesn't have a whole lot of confidence in himself because he went after Chloe.
Oh yeah,
if he had confidence. He's taking Kim. He's gonna knock down Kylie. He's gonna say, Kendall, what that mouth do? You know what I mean?
he gonna take Courtney away from Scott.
He's gonna take Courtney away from Scott if he had some confidence, but he went for the low hanging fruit. So we know he doesn't have any confidence.
And with the plastic surgery she's got going on, she's really looking worse. So I don't know. He might want to boot her. He might pull. Hey, he may do a James Harden. He may shred Chloe this summer and just come back as a beast. That's what Harden did.
He would. Harden's so improved. He's so improved. That Kardashian curse. I don't care what anybody says.
It's true.
It's real.
Reggie Bush.
Real. Reggie Bush.
Let's talk about
Chris Humphrey.
Let's talk about Miles Austin. Man, look how out of
Miles Austin.
Look what they did to Bruce. Look at Bruce.
Look at Bruce. Look at Lamar Odom.
Yeah. He went to a brothel and just
look at Scott. Look at Scott. He turned into a drunken idiot.
That thing is real. Look at Nicole Brown. I mean, come on.
Oh shit.
Oh wow, you're right. You're right.
You're right. Around these Kardashians, you don't know what could happen.
Man,
you can't go around them.
Before we get you out of here, man, I do want to know if you had
Rest
to
in
make
peace,
the
Nicole Brown. Ron Goldman.
If you had the Olympic squad in 2020, and this isn't 2020, who makes your 3-on-3 squad?
My 3-on-3 squad?
2020. So this is 4 years from now.
Okay, I like it. All right, because I'm from Houston, I got Harden at the point.
Oh, nice. I didn't think about Harden.
Now here's the thing. Even though he's short,
4 years from now,
he's gonna be prime. 31.
But here's the thing. Here's for the defensive part of the game, who could also still get some points. I'm picking Draymond Green.
He may be developed by then.
And in 4 years, LeBron James he's still going to be the best player in the world. He's going to be on the low. He's going to be declining. But look, when we talk about the dream team, we still have Magic and Bird on there.
Yeah.
Who are in their declining years, but still phenomenal basketball players.
True.
I'm going to go, even though it's a strange lineup, I'm going Harden, I'm going LeBron, I'm going Draymond.
See, and the thing I would have to say about LeBron is me and DeMarcus talked about before. He's due for an injury. As bad as this sounds, not trying to be mean.
He's not going to have it. It's not going to happen.
We said
he's the most durable player ever.
We said the same thing about Kobe, and then all of a sudden Kobe would not get hurt. And if Kobe was hurt, he would not tell you he's hurt. But you know what? LeBron is due. He may condition as great as he is, but the minutes and the pounding that he puts on his body, you can't be 250 and that limbers that long. Them bones are going to start coming down some. Unless
we have never seen an athlete like LeBron James in any sport.
Not 14 straight years, no. Not this consistent, this dominant for 14 straight years.
Ever. So if LeBron James says in 2020, I'm going to play on the Olympic team and I'm going to give you 40 a game, I believe him. That's why I believe Tom Brady, who says he's going to play until he's 45 years old.
I kind of believe him. If you don't get a crazy hit, somebody going to lay him out.
He don't get hit. That's why he can play for so long.
If it happened to Brett Favre and nobody thought it would happen to Brett Favre was the original Iron Man. Like,
thank you. That's what I'm saying. That's how Kobe was.
Happened to Brett Favre. And
that's what Kobe. And you saw the downtime.
With all due respect to Kobe Bryant and Brett Favre, they're not
the specimen
caliber of player that Tom Brady and LeBron James are.
That's true. Do you see LeBron's conditioning? His condition is on me personally. My top 3 was going to be John Wall.
Okay.
I had Kevin Durant.
Of course.
And then I had Karl Anthony Towns, and I'm going to take it to town. I'm going to go to work.
That's all consensus, Brad. That's all consensus.
Hey, we're going to go to town.
Karl Anthony Towns
will be the best player in 4 years.
He is a specimen that nobody's talking about. If I'm Chris Paul, oh, sorry, go.
No, he's the next superstar.
Yes. Sure. I think he's here now. I think
he's here now.
It may be kind of early, but I will take him over Anthony Davis tomorrow because Anthony Davis and his injuries, I don't want nothing to do with it, man.
That's another guy I hate. I hate Anthony Davis. As great as he is as a basketball player, I'm not giving that unibrow MFer a max deal ever in my life.
Because he can't stay healthy.
He can't
stay healthy.
That was crazy. I wouldn't have locked that down either. He would have been incentives in his contract or something.
Him and Boogie Cousins on the same team.
Yeah, that's not.
Get out of here.
Boogie gonna go to Washington in no time.
But I mean,
Boogie needs to go to the D League. I don't like him either.
Oh man, hey man, his attitude. I don't know. It's something about those people with those attitudes. They can't seem to get over. Draymond, he still has his moments. Like when
Draymond should have been kicked out of game. What was it? 3.
No, I don't think they could have did it back.
See, I don't think they could. See, that first tech they gave him, okay, that's fine. He was frailing. But that second tech that he got, I don't even know where that came from. He didn't even do nothing.
Yeah. He didn't do anything, but they called the tech on him.
I know.
That's what was in my mind.
Bye-bye.
But yeah, Karl Anthony Towns is, I feel like if I'm not Chris Paul, if I'm Kyle Lowry and I really want to make a name for myself and I want to do something special, I'm going to the Timberwolves.
That'd be cool.
What would he do? Look what Kyle Lowry would do with that offense. With Zach LaVine coming back, you have Karl Anthony Towns, you have Andrew Wiggins, you have Thibodeau with another year of establishing defense.
Mm-hmm.
They can make some noise. And Kyle Lowry's young enough to stick with that team and really make some noise.
I think that's going to be the next up and coming team. I think it's going to take a couple years, but if they can make the right move in free agency, and it's going to have to take somebody that's willing to sacrifice going to a bad weather city, but Minnesota can do something.
Watch them play. Watch if anybody doubts them. Watch them play the Warriors last year and look at that game tape and tell me that Karl Anthony Towns is not the most amazing player that you have ever seen play the center position. Oh, I didn't see Kareem and all them back in the day. I mean, Shaq, he was.
Don't talk Shaq. Shaq is the
Shaq
number 5 of
but Shaq was the thing about Karl Anthony Towns. I've never seen a center this limber that can hit you from all spots. Like his pull-up 3 is nice. His pump fakes are nice. His inside post game is nice.
His passing is nice. Shaq missed like 10,000 points on free throws.
I don't give a damn. Tell me whenever Karl Anthony Towns dunks the ball and breaks the entire backboard.
Oh, he's not that.
It was the 90s, man.
It was the 90s. Those were cheaply built. I mean,
I don't care.
They designed that. Jim Buss did something to that goal So he for entertainment factor, we got all the stars tonight at this game.
Tell
Shaq,
me
go up there.
Karl Anthony Towns stars in a movie as a black superhero.
I think it's coming.
Hey, he got Sasquatch.
Looking at the Sasquatch commercials, it's coming.
He's funny as shit. Like Karl Anthony Towns is so entertaining, man. I love this dude. This dude. He's gonna be the face of the league soon.
He's gonna be Steel too. He's gonna play in Steel too.
Tell me when Karl Anthony Towns gets that call from Vinnie Mac and says, "I want you in the Battle Royal at WrestleMania."
All right, you got us beat.
That may not happen. That may not happen. They may not happen.
You know, Brad, you win this round, man. I do want to give a special thanks to you, man. We really do appreciate you coming on and supporting the Fish and Grits movement, man. And we hope to have you at some point in the near future, man.
Hey, anytime you want me on, send me the Google Hangout request that I've now figured out.
There we go.
And we'll make it happen.
And we'll make gold. We'll make gold over here.
We will.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Brad Gilmore.
Now, last thing, though. We talked about, this is the last thing.
Okay.
We talked about the verse we take off of International Players Anthem. What is the best verse of the song?
Oh, the opening. You can't do nothing without the opening.
I don't know, man.
I like that opening, too.
That opening's
I typed the text to the girl I used to see, telling that I was this cutie pie with whom I... What?
Hold on.
What?
As much as I love that verse, my bitch a choosy lover, never without a
It's
rubber.
the pimp. It's the
Never.
pimp.
It's
Never.
I think the fact that he's dead is giving it a look.
Never on the sheets like it on top of the covers.
Okay.
Money on the dresser.
Drive
a compressor.
Top-notch hoes get the most, not the less. You can't tell me this guy was talking the gospel.
He had that's the coldest 4 lines. Okay?
He has the sway that gets you, that you fall for. He has the lingo that
the introduction. It's all about the introduction.
It's something about Andre 2000.
The entrance. It's all about the entrance.
Marcus. Your bitch chose me. You ain't a pimp. You a fairy.
That's an outro.
You know what?
That drops the mic.
This has been Fish and Grits, and you guys have just been served.
Y'all take it easy.